Guillermo, the summer movie, you're doing it right. How y'all doing? My name is Ryan. This is Down to Business Reviews. This weekend, my wife and I had the privilege of going to see Pacific Rim, directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Charlie Hunnam, Idris Elba, Charlie Day, Rinko Kikuchi, and Ron Perlman. In Pacific Rim, humanity faces obliteration from monstrous creatures called kaiju that emerge from another dimension. The only hope for mankind lies in the power of Jaegers, giant robotic weapons built to combat these monumental beasts. This is what happens when a director who knows what he's doing on an artistic level gets his hands on a tentpole summer blockbuster. It's sheer summer movie bliss. It's what happened when Alfonso Cuarón got his hands on Harry Potter. It's what happened when Sam Mendes got a hold of 007. Transformers wishes it could be this movie. How is it possible then? How? That a cinematic achievement like Pacific Rim gets beat at the box office its opening weekend by Despicable Me 2 and Grown Ups 2. Grown Ups 2. How? Unfortunately, it's because making summer blockbusters is the art of making money, not movies. And that is a huge bummer. Okay, so I loved this movie. It wasn't pretending to be anything that it wasn't. It's 2 hours of giant robots fighting giant monsters. But it manages to do something that other films like it have not been able to do. Have a compelling story, and interesting characters, and really amazing action sequences. Can you imagine? Ever since filmmakers started making monster movies back in the 50s and 60s, they could only dream of something like Pacific Rim. While they had dudes in rubber suits knocking over model towns, this is what they were thinking of in their head. I'm convinced that Pacific Rim is those filmmakers' dream come to fruition. So here's where I'm coming from personally going into Pacific Rim. When I was a little kid, I watched Power Rangers. Not the later stuff that got all like crazy, like the original with Rita Repulsa and then Lord Zed and all that stuff. I remember wishing that I had a Megazord that I could, jump into and fight all kinds of giant monsters. Fast forward then to high school, when I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion for the first time. Then I wanted a giant mech suit, but I also wanted, an interesting story to go along with it. So when I sat in a half-empty theater with my wife watching Pacific Rim in 3D, all of that nostalgia came flooding back to me, and I felt like a kid again. I didn't care that the acting wasn't always amazing, or that Charlie Hunnam sounds a little bit like Coach McGurk. What I saw were some amazing heroes, fighting a great evil, and kicking some serious ass. I wanted to cheer and clap and, scream, "Do it again! Do it again!" And that's something that has been missing from the theaters for such a long time. So thanks, Guillermo, for bringing me back to that childlike place of awe and wonder, reminding me why I even go to the movies in the first place. I finally got to go for a ride on the shoulders of giants. Pacific Rim gets a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect film, but it's some of the most fun I've had in a movie in a long time. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you liked anything I was rambling on about. Usually every week I'll post a review for SourceFed Nerds Movie Club, so if you liked this, check out those other videos. Sometimes I do new releases like this as well, just for fun. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. If you have the chance to see this movie in 3D, I recommend doing so just for the experience, but be warned, it's like 2.5 hours and super intense, so it might be a little bit much. If you think you can handle it for that long, do it. If not, see it anyway.